Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. This time, we're going to be tackling a question that's been on a lot of people's minds. Can open and distance learning actually solve Nigeria's educational challenges?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
It is a good one.
And I think the answer is more nuanced than just a yes or a no. So we're going to be diving deep into the history of this system in Nigeria, a story of vision and setbacks, and ultimately a really unique approach to empowering people.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get into this. I've done a lot of research, and I'm really curious to hear what you have to say because I know you're the expert.
Well, what's interesting is this goes back further than a lot of people realize. Imagine Nigerians back in the 60s and 70s. They're eager for knowledge and participating in educational radio and television programs. Or even sending their coursework overseas to places like Oxford through correspondence courses.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never would have thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So they were really looking for ways to further their education.
That's fascinating to think about those early pioneers, like paving the way for what was to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it wasn't long before institutions within Nigeria started to see the potential of reaching learners beyond those traditional classrooms, right?
Exactly. In 1972, Ahmadu Bello University established the University of the Air for teacher training. That was groundbreaking for its time.
Yeah.
Then, in 1974, the University of Lagos followed suit.
Okay.
And they created what we now know as the Distance Learning Institute. Yeah.
There was a real sense of momentum building.
Absolutely.
In fact, in 1976, there was a plan put in place to establish an actual open university led by Professor Afolabi Oho. It felt like Nigeria was on the verge of a major educational breakthrough.
It seemed that way, yeah. But the path to progress is never smooth.
Here we go.
So the Open University was established in 1983, but unfortunately it was suspended just a year later because of a coup d'etat.
Oh, wow. That must have been so disheartening.
Yeah, it was a blow.
For everyone who would work so hard to make this happen.
It makes you wonder if the dream was over before it even really began.
Right.
But it wasn't the end of the story.
Okay, good.
The vision was just put on hold.
Okay.
And fast forward to 2002.
Right.
And under the leadership of President Olusegun Obasanjo, the National Open University of Nigeria, or NOUN, is established.
Okay, so it comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's really incredible is that President Obasanjo didn't just champion the university from, afar. No. He actually became an NOUN student himself.
Really?
He eventually earned a PhD in Christian theology.
Wow, no way.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He was the university's first doctoral graduate.
That's incredible. That speaks volumes about his commitment to the power of open and distance learning.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's leading by example.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. And then in 2003, NOUN partnered with the Commonwealth of Learning to create RETRIDAL.
Yes.
Which stands for?
It stands for Regional Training and Research Institute for Distance and Open Learning.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
It is.
But that partnership further strengthened the foundation of open and distance learning, not just in Nigeria, but across West Africa.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is all incredibly inspiring. But before we go any further, I think it's important to step back and understand, why was open and distance learning so crucial for Nigeria in the first place?
Yeah, you're right. We need to look at the educational landscape of the time.
Okay.
Conventional universities just didn't have the capacity to meet the growing demand for higher education.
Right.
Think about it. Around 80% of qualified applicants couldn't get into traditional universities.
Wow, it's a huge number.
It's a huge number of people who are being left behind.
So open and distance learning emerged as a way to bridge that gap.
Exactly.
And provide opportunities for those who might otherwise be excluded from higher education.
Exactly. But it went beyond simply increasing access. Open and distance learning also offered a solution to a very specific challenge in Nigeria, and that was evolving teacher qualifications.
Okay.
So at one point, the minimum requirement for teachers in Nigeria was a teacher's grade 2 certificate. Then it was raised to the Nigeria Certificate of Education.
Right.
For countless teachers, this meant going back to school or risking their jobs.
Oh, wow.
So open and distance learning provided a flexible pathway for them to upgrade their qualifications while they were still working.
That's really important.
Yeah.
And for many, this flexibility was key.
Absolutely.
You see, open and distance learning wasn't just for teachers.
Right.
It was for working professionals, those living in remote areas, anyone who needed a more flexible approach to education.
Exactly.
It's like open and distance learning created this incredible safety net.
Yeah.
Catching those who might have otherwise fallen through the cracks of the traditional system.
Yeah, it's a great analogy.
But I'm curious, was it just about catching them?
Yeah.
Or was it about equipping them to thrive?
It was absolutely about empowerment.
Okay.
Giving individuals the tools they needed to shape their own futures,
Right.
to pursue their aspirations, and to contribute to the growth of their communities and the nation as a whole.
This historical overview sets the stage for understanding how open and distance learning is impacting the lives of everyday Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to the now,
Yeah.
I want to pause here for a moment and ask you, the listener, what are your initial thoughts on this historical journey?
Yeah. What surprises you the most? I think it's remarkable how a system that was born out of necessity has evolved into such a powerful tool for empowerment.
Absolutely.
The historical context really is key to understanding just how impactful open and distance learning is in Nigeria today.
It really is.
Yeah.
And speaking of impact, I'm curious to know more about the learners themselves.
Okay.
Like, who are these individuals who are choosing this path? What are their stories?
That's where the narrative gets even more fascinating.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about a single demographic here. It's teachers, of course, seeking those higher qualifications we talked about, but it's also working professionals
Okay.
trying to climb the career ladder,
Right.
perhaps juggling family responsibilities alongside their studies.
Yeah.
And let's not forget those in rural communities who might not have easy access to those traditional brick and mortar institutions.
I imagine a lot of our listeners are probably wondering, like, how do these learners manage to balance their studies with their already busy lives?
That's a great question.
What strategies have you seen be successful?
I think time management and self-discipline are essential.
Right.
Many learners create structured study schedules.
Okay.
Carving out dedicated time amidst their other commitments.
Yeah.
Support networks are also crucial. Study groups, online forums, even just having a family that understands and respects their study time can make all the difference.
That's huge, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just about having the information available.
Right.
It's about having that support structure to succeed.
Exactly.
But surely there must be challenges to learning this way too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Technology has been a game changer for open and distance learning, but access to reliable internet connectivity remains a hurdle for some.
Right, especially in those rural areas.
Particularly in more remote areas.
Yeah.
And then there's the aspect of human interaction, something that traditional classrooms can offer more readily.
Yeah.
That sense of community and belonging.
Yeah.
That can be so important when tackling challenging material.
Absolutely. So how do they kind of make up for that?
Well, that's where the role of facilitators and online learning platforms comes in.
Okay.
Nou1, for example, utilizes a really robust learning management system.
Oh, wow.
Where learners can access course materials, they can engage in discussions with peers and facilitators, and even attend virtual live sessions.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's not just a one-way street of information delivery.
Exactly.
There's a real effort to foster that engagement.
And a sense of community.
Absolutely. It's about creating a supportive learning environment that goes beyond the physical limitations of a traditional classroom.
I love that. I'm sure that there are some people out there who worry about technology replacing the human element in education. How would you address those concerns?
It's a varied concern. Technology should enhance, not replace the human element.
Right.
Facilitators are still crucial.
Yeah.
They guide discussions, they provide personalized feedback.
Yeah.
And they offer support that goes beyond just the course content. It's really about finding the right balance between leveraging technology's capabilities and preserving that essential human connection in learning.
It's about empowering both the learner and the educator with the right tools for success.
Exactly.
I like that a lot.
And when that balance is struck effectively, the rewards can be profound.
Absolutely.
Imagine earning a degree while working full-time, raising a family.
Or overcoming geographical barriers to education. It's a testament to human resilience and a powerful driver of personal and societal progress.
So it's almost like open and distance learning isn't just an alternative pathway. It's a pathway to empowerment.
That's a great way to frame it.
Yeah.
And this empowerment isn't just limited to Nigeria. As technology keeps evolving, the potential for open and distance learning to address global educational challenges is becoming more and more apparent.
It's like we're on the brink of a global educational revolution, with open and distance learning playing this central role.
I think so, yeah.
That's exciting. But Revolutions often come with their own set of challenges.
They do.
What hurdles might open and distance learning in Nigeria face in the years to come?
Well, I think ensuring quality control is an ongoing priority.
Okay.
With the growth of online programs, robust accreditation and quality assurance mechanisms are essential to maintain academic rigor and learner trust.
Okay, so it's not just about expanding access. It's about ensuring that the education provided is high quality and meets the needs of learners.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And, you know, while internet access is improving in Nigeria, bridging the digital divide between urban and rural areas and between different socioeconomic groups, that remains crucial for equitable access to open and distance learning.
It's like building a bridge to the future of education, but making sure that everyone has the tools and support to cross it.
Exactly.
What other challenges do you see?
Investing in teacher training and development is key.
Okay.
You know, facilitators in these learning environments need specialized skills and pedagogical approaches to create those engaging and effective online learning experiences. Supporting their professional development is really vital.
It's clear that this multifaceted approach is needed.
Yeah.
You know, addressing not just infrastructure and technology, but the human aspects of learning and teaching.
Absolutely. It's about creating a comprehensive ecosystem that supports these open and distance learners at every step of their journey.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the historical roots of open and distance learning in Nigeria to the evolving challenges and opportunities it faces.
Yeah, we have.
This is just the tip of the iceberg. So what are some of the key trends and developments on the horizon that you think we should be paying attention to?
Yeah.
It feels like we're at like a crossroads, you know?
Yeah.
Witnessing this pivotal moment in the evolution of education, not just in Nigeria, but like globally.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's very exciting.
And as technology continues to advance, it's really fascinating to think about how that might further shape the landscape of open and distance learning.
For sure.
Yeah.
One trend that I think is really interesting is the rise of personalized learning experiences.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so imagine a learning platform that adapts to each student's individual needs and learning style, providing customized learning pathways and targeted support. We're already seeing this a bit with adaptive assessments and personalized learning recommendations, but the potential is much, much deeper.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like having a personal tutor tailored to you, to your specific strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, and this level of personalization really wouldn't be possible without data analytics and artificial intelligence.
That's right.
These technologies can track learner progress, identify areas where they might be struggling, and provide tailored interventions to help them succeed.
It's really amazing to think about all the possibilities.
It is.
But what about the role of human interaction in this like increasingly personalized world of learning?
Yeah, that's a really crucial consideration.
Yeah.
You know, technology can certainly personalize the learning experience, but we can't forget that learning is inherently a social process.
Right.
You know, we learn best when we can connect with others, share ideas, and engage in meaningful discussions.
So how do we ensure that human connection isn't lost in the pursuit of all this technological advancement?
That's where the design of learning platforms and the role of facilitators become even more important. I think platforms should be designed to foster collaboration and communication, not just information delivery.
Yeah.
And facilitators need to be skilled in creating engaging online learning communities, guiding discussions, providing personalized feedback, and offering support beyond just the course content.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where technology and human interaction work together to create a really special learning experience.
Precisely.
Yeah, I love that.
And as we look to the future, I think we're going to see even greater emphasis on this integration of technology and human connection, along with a continued focus on expanding access, ensuring quality, and bridging that digital divide.
Those are all really important.
They are, yeah.
What are some other exciting developments on the horizon that you're particularly enthusiastic about?
Well, I think the use of virtual reality and augmented reality in education is incredibly promising.
Oh, wow.
Imagine learners in Nigeria being able to virtually step inside a historical landmark.
Oh, wow.
Or explore the human body in 3D.
Wow.
Or even conduct scientific experiments in a virtual lab.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, the potential is vast, but it's important to remember that technology is a tool, not a solution in itself.
Right.
The true innovation lies in how we use these tools to create meaningful learning experiences, that engage learners, foster critical thinking, and prepare them for the challenges of this rapidly changing world.
So what does all of this mean for our listeners?
Yeah, that's the big question.
What does the future of open and distance learning hold for them, for their families, for their communities?
Well, I think it means that the opportunities for lifelong learning are expanding.
Mm-hmm.
They're becoming more accessible and more personalized than ever before.
That's wonderful.
And I think it means that education is no longer confined to the walls of a traditional classroom.
That's amazing.
And it means that the power to shape your own educational journey is increasingly in your hands.
What an inspiring thought to end on.
Yeah.
We've explored the incredible journey of open and distance learning in Nigeria from those early days to this promising future.
It has been a truly fascinating deep dive.
It really have.
And I hope this has sparked some curiosity.
Yeah.
To learn even more about this transformative field of education.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, remember that this is just the beginning of your exploration.
Yeah.
Keep asking those questions.
Keep learning.
Keep learning.
And keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep. Who knows what incredible discoveries await you on your lifelong learning adventure.
Exactly.